Hello and welcome to Happy Foot, Sad Foot, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Edition. I'm Travis Helwig.
I'm Vince LaRosa.
I'm Darren Miller.
Boy, did we grow the game tonight, boys. The game has been grown. We all 14 of the people in Las Vegas that cared about the Las Vegas Lights were there to see Kike Olivera's brace, almost hat trick. Probably hat trick.
The game has been grown.
Yeah,
we've grown the game.
The job is done.
I was texting back with Max Bredo, so Max goes, "I think he raised his flag too early," and I said, "Well, like his heroes in the Champions League game, he raised his flag too early because referees got to have heroes too." And I would assume that assistant's hero is the man doing the Champions League semifinal, right? Like referees definitely have posters of other referees on their walls, right?
They look up to refs that really interfere with the game. They want to be as much the focal point as possible.
Well, what's the point of being a ref if you're not going to be talked about?
I mean, I think I just got to start it off right off the bat. The happy foot of the game is obviously that we grew the game. We got to watch that incredible stream, which I was saying to Vince before we came on. It's so funny when it was buffering, but the score wasn't buffering. So you could tell it was literally the upload speed at the venue, the tubes not being thick enough for it. And I didn't like how my sad foot is how much it felt like we could lose at parts of that game. I didn't like that it didn't feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say my sad foot is also, magic. It seemed like almost as bad as a normal MLS game.
I mean, let's be fair. What did you really expect? Like there was so many things going on. Look, the pitch is horrible. You make changes. That's the first time that backline's ever been together. You change the midfield.
Yeah.
And it wasn't pretty at all. Like I'm not trying to gloss over that. It really wasn't pretty, but they did create a lot of chances and exactly how you would expect. The goalkeeper from the other team had the game of his life. And really stepped up. And
incredible game.
It's kind of,
and then you had like a mental lapse like LAFC is prone for. So it's like, it's a little bit of step in the right direction. I mean, it's a win on the road, first of all. But yeah, I actually would have been more surprised.
Happy foot. The streak is broken.
I would have been more surprised if like they literally showed up and all of a sudden we're Manchester City and just played a team off the pitch. Like that would have been confusing to me.
Yeah, these always feel like trap games, Lamar Hunt trap games. Darren, what do you think?
The Lamar Hunt trap game. I mean, Christian Olivera just breaking out completely. It's like, when you're holding back tears because you don't want to cry, and then all of a sudden something triggers you and you're just crying for days. And the goals just kept coming, and they're gonna keep coming. The next match,
2 games in a row,
and he can't stop scoring.
The game before,
maybe we were wrong about Bouanga, and he was not addicted to goals. It was more of a viral thing.
Well, sometimes if you are addicted to something, the people around you end up getting involved in it because of peer pressure. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It was peer pressure. Yeah. Also, another happy foot. Dolo said something terrible to get sent off. Like what did he say? We have to find out.
It looked like he didn't say more than 5 words.
You could hear.
What could it have been?
You could clearly hear children in the stands, but you couldn't hear Dolo.
Oh yeah, turn down. Seriously, Open Cup. Here's just a quick tip: turn off the mics at halftime. I mean, yeah, I can mute my TV, which I did eventually, but for a while there, I was like, "What is going on?"
I like that in the center of the pitch there was a large dark circle, fully unexplained. Is that the baseball that you were talking about, Vince?
Oh, is that the pitcher's mound?
That whole field, I don't think you can explain that field at all. I mean, it didn't even look like a baseball field, to be honest, but it is generally a baseball field.
Timothy Peters says Romero for starter, and I just want to say I'm not sure we saw much from him tonight that would dictate that. Almost gave the ball to the center of the pitch where we could have lost it again. And luckily we were playing a USL team who hit a ball like Denny Bouanga over the top of the net. I mean, there wasn't a ton to feel good about at parts of that, but I'm very happy that we took the win when we could. The Kamara goal was nice. almost 3 goals from Kike Olivera. Another big happy foot I want to make sure that we talk about is Omar Campos, man of the match. Looked great and confident out there. That second goal, maybe he didn't mean for Olivera to score it, but we scored because Omar Campos played so good up the side, taking the Hollingshead role. I know some people have missed seeing Omar a little bit, so it was nice to see him play as well as he did the first game of the season.
For me, he's like that happy and the sad foot. He was both sides of the coin because he was great going forward. Total lack of effort and mental shutdown on the corner. Like he's not even close to that flick on. And I think that's from what I know about Steve and the way he wants players to be focused. And look, this only goes so far because, right, like there's been a lot of focus laps and you can't fire everybody. But like Omar had good moments going forward, but then would have like these 1 or 2 glaring errors in some of the games. And I think that's why he lost his spot. And eventually Steve was like, look, I can count more on Sergi Palencia. He's just going to be more even keeled. And maybe that lowers LAFC's ceiling, but Steve just thinks like he's not going to make one big mistake. So Omar's really got to, he's young though. That's the thing. You can say like, I'm not too worried because he's young, but that's Steve's prerogative as a coach. And I think that's why he's chosen to kind of sit him and have him learn a little bit of a lesson. I hope he continues to learn because I do think he did look very good. I mean, that was the only way LAFC could progress the ball was Omar Campos, really, other than trying to hoof it long and go 1v1 against the defenders.
Yeah. And Steve Cherundolo a little bit in passing. Do you think he went to Sapphire or Spearmint Rhino at halftime?
Oh, I mean, he's old school, right? I mean, Sapphire seems a little more for the younger generation.
Yeah, maybe he went to like Crazy Horse. He went to like an off-strip place.
Steve's like 6 years older than I am, and Spearmint Rhino was the rage when I was in high school. So I think in Steve being 6 years older, prime demographic.
For sure. Wow. I wonder if they made him leave Cashman. It's so funny to be like, leave and go to Las Vegas.
Well, I love when they go, he's gonna have to watch it on video like the rest of us. I was like, dude, that's a fate worse than the red card.
Now it's a real punishment.
Yeah, someone's got to wipe the Vaseline off that camera. Jesus Christ, it was like watching underwater.
There was like a weird 2-second window where I was actually able to make out some faces. I didn't know what was that about.
I airplayed it to my television and it was too hard to see, so I had to bring it back down to my iPad. It just was like
that's good when you crunch it small. It probably
when it's smaller, your eyes can blur it out a little bit.
Eye-popping DVD quality stream.
What's going on with our set piece defense? It feels like we've become. I saw someone comment this in the on Twitter that we've become the Galaxy overnight with our inability to stop set pieces. Yeah. Well, what's going on? Anybody have any thoughts?
I mean, set pieces are focus. They really are. I mean, you stick to your man. It's focus and just kind of wanting it more. That's like it's like the one area of the sport where I agree with people when they're like, they're just not giving enough effort. It really is effort. It's kind of like defense in the NBA. Like everyone can play defense, but not everyone wants to play defense. And again, that goes kind of back to what we've seen all season with LAFC. Like, this is what I'm saying when people are like arguing with us about like the kind of the good things we're seeing. I think there's a good team in there. They just seem to shockingly have a lack of focus and a big error in them and get punished every single time. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a good thing in the long run, so they'll stop doing it, but they haven't so far yet.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any team plays a bad game against us. Everyone is showing up to play us each week, which has been quite annoying.
It's exhausting.
Yeah, let us have one.
Yeah, come on, guys. Come on, Vegas Lights FC. Even that, the score does not reflect, but like, we still kind of barely won that.
And we almost won 8-1 as well.
We almost won 8-1 and almost lost 8-1.
That goalkeeper is very good, or at least played the game of his life. Like, I know some of those were right at him, but some of those were really quick response saves. The Bouanga save was not an easy save. Some of those kick saves, those like hockey goal saves, you really have to be on your toes to make them. Yeah. So maybe he should get the starting spot for us.
All those Bouanga
and his name was Amateur, which I thought was really fun. Amateur the really Amateur.
Cool. He's not very big either. He looked like a small statured goalkeeper.
Yeah, there was also a guy in their midfield that was like my size. He was like short and a little stocky. And I was like, that guy, I like that guy. Who's that thick boy playing in the midfield?
That's one of the guys on the team's brother.
Yeah. Jason says there's zero chemistry on this team. It's actually amazing. Well, we did play with a rotated roster, but I agree with you most other nights, Jason.
He's not talking about us, is he?
I think he's talking. Oh, he means
the three of us.
No,
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
We have to find.
He's talking about the team.
We've never all been in the same room at the same time.
About us. That's true.
We've never hung out. The three of us have never hung out together.
It's true.
But we do.
But in a sense,
the general
we hang out
like
more than I hang out with anyone.
The general casual white male thing of being like, we should really all get together sometime.
Yeah.
Like just
we've done that enough to make it. Yeah, to make it seem like we actually like each other.
This is what we would do anyway.
Three guys who don't hang out is what a podcast is. It's just three white guys with mics.
This is really embarrassing, guys.
To be honest, once you do a podcast, do you really want to hang out?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
You have to admit in person that this is what we do.
I have to like see the bottom half of you guys. It's weird.
Wow. Travis has some thick legs.
We've seen the bottom half of each other in pairs.
Travis has goat legs, like a little. What are those?
We're all centaurs.
Yeah.
Any other happy feet or sad feet from the game? I have a fun. I thought it was funny that without Steve Cherundolo, we subbed at a regular time. We decided to sub in players.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sure a normal team would.
I'm sure the plan was to sub more in this match, but that was very refreshing. I've been starting to get very annoyed by how long he waits to sub people in, and like all of the complaints about like I can happily ignore all of the complaints that I don't agree with about tactics and Dolo out and all that bullshit, but still feel like we could get some subs in early, like especially since to the point of people in the chat, if we're not showing chemistry and whatever's on the pitch isn't working, why are we waiting to bring people in? Like we're not losing anything if we take people out, clearly, in most of these matches. What are we losing?
Tell us
no, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying again, we always assume that like a sub makes the game better. That doesn't necessarily. It's not,
no, I'm saying take the gamble. I think it's worth the gamble. It's a gamble. I understand.
Well, of course,
that.
The three of us, of course, feel that way because we don't know any better. But maybe Steve's like, it's not worth the gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Jacob Contreras says Kamara first goal easily a happy foot.
That's true. I've been meaning to mention that on a few of these shows. I'm so impressed by his header accuracy, and I know that's like literally his job specifically, but. I don't think I've seen someone with that good accuracy off their head in a while. Like
it helps when your forehead's that big too.
Oh yeah, he's great in the air. He'll jump out
to
of the stadium.
His hairstyle seems to be for that purpose.
And Zach Brown says Olivera super sub for the final 30 minutes when Bouanga is content to distribute. Hear me out. Look, we might see more of that later in the season. When our good friend Olivier and Carlos Vela, maybe if he's not in San Diego, what do you think? Carlos Vela watched that game? Do you think he figured out how to watch that stream?
No chance.
He was grilling.
He heard that it was in Vegas and it was inspired to go party in Monaco.
Can I tell you, we did something with him one time, and I remember saying to him, I was like, "Yeah, you can do it on your computer," and he goes, "I don't have a computer." I was like, "Don't."
Whoa.
I'm like, you're lying, and he's like, well, I have an iPad. I was like, that's just like the same thing. He's like, well, but I don't have a computer. I was like, there's no chance you don't have a computer. I bet you a closet somewhere has like the newest, nicest Mac Pro that he just doesn't use.
That doesn't mean he knows he has it.
It is. He also has been a professional soccer player for so long that like we all had computer labs in school. He maybe never learned how to do it. He's been doing this for so long. He's our age. He missed Zumbinis. He missed Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Well, what a sad life then, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would be happier if I didn't have a computer. Let's see. Oh, Happy Foot U.S. Open Cup is coming to BMO in 2 weeks where we can really grow the game. That's where we'll
That's
grow
how
the
you
game.
grow the game in America.
Did anyone else look up where Loudoun United is?
I did.
Before we came on here.
Because I know that there's
It's
a
in
Loudoun,
Loudoun City, right?
Yeah, Loudoun City, which is also a Pokemon city. No, there's a Loudoun, New Hampshire, but that's not where this is. It's somewhere in Virginia.
Yep.
Bad luck that they have to play in Orange County, go back to Virginia, and then come back to Los Angeles. I assumed they were a West Coast team based on the couplet that we had.
They seem to had to shuffle it up because the way the teams are entered now, they just kind of had. I think like Louisville is playing Seattle.
Yeah,
that's not fun.
Yeah.
By the way, Loudoun one fewer point than Las Vegas Lights this year so far through USL. So similar type of team in terms of results.
As in, who the fuck knows what will happen?
We know the field will be better at least. God, that pitch was horrible.
Do we know?
Yeah, like I don't want to say the patterns of play and like the things that LAFC were doing in build up weren't necessarily like sexy and really good, but also I don't blame them totally. When you have a completely new back line, you have Duenas in the midfield, do you really want to take chances? No, he had a good game. I'm not saying he had a bad game. I'm just saying, do you really want to take chances when the field is that shit? I wouldn't. I would rather just get it to Denny and be like, Denny, just go see what you can do.
Is Loudoun a MLS Next Pro or a USL team?
USL.
Okay, so we're not dropping down a division. We're staying in USL.
Shout out to JDot140 asking if Loudoun is in England, which I didn't have the guts to say out loud. I also had that question.
Well, every East Coast city is named after some weird village in England that the first guy who got there named it after.
But also it brings up a topic where I remember specifically last year, somebody asking me, hey, how come Toronto isn't playing in the Open Cup? And I was like, that's a real question? The US Open Cup?
The NA Open Cup.
Impulsive Josie says that Louisville's tied it up with the Sounders 2-2. So that game's going on right now. If you want to figure out how to find that stream and watch that bullshit again. I don't know if a computer could handle this and that at the same time.
Yeah, you're going to have to upgrade your internet for that. And it won't work when you do. We do have callers.
Why?
Should we go to some callers?
Yeah, why? We're all sickos. There's a good number of people watching at 10 p.m. on a Wednesday. We all have family. What are we doing?
Dolo's calling in.
That would be so awesome.
He's drunk as hell.
He's just doing he's doing body shots. Guys,
I lost the team. I don't know where they are, but this is fun.
Joey was on first. Joey, let's make this quick. What are your happy feet and sad feet?
Happy foot. I got enough bars to mic drop you guys. Bye.
Are you?
Whoa, we just got big time.
That was a rare Joey eclipse.
By a minor? What was he doing?
He was wearing a headlamp.
Oh, he sifts for gold in the LA River.
I didn't know they had spelunking in Las Vegas.
Hey, why not?
Also, Happy Foot, the 3252 was heard the whole time. But also, so were like crying children. So I don't know how much of a reward, but they sounded good as always. I hope they have fun tonight. I wonder if the team gets to stay the night. I guess we have a game Saturday. It would probably be smart.
Staying.
They have to stay in the stadium.
They're getting out.
They have to find sleeping bags.
I guess you don't want Ordaz alone in Vegas. Ordaz seems like he gets into some trouble. I feel like we could see that. Jimmy, welcome to the show. What are your happy feet and sad feet from the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup?
My happy foot is they fucking won.
Hell yeah.
I was kind of getting questionable after they gave up that set piece, but they won. I didn't drive out here for nothing. My sad foot was the beer selection in that stadium. It was crap.
No.
So talk to us about being there. What was it like? What's the vibe? Where are you now?
But please do start with details on the beer selection. Let's not just gloss right over that.
It was fucking Bud Light, Modelo and Corona. I ain't drinking that shit. Somebody bought me a Modelo, so I actually did drink one. But the rest of the time, I drink water. Hydration is important.
Yeah. Was it hot out there? What's the vibe?
No, actually, the weather was perfect. It was not hot. It was like I got here yesterday and it was windy. Like I went to like just walking around downtown. It was like blowing my beard. But actually, like today, the weather was perfect. Like I went out for like lunch to eat some $2 fucking hot dog and a pap shot, and actually the weather was great.
And just for the people who are listening to this podcast and not watching, blowing my beard was not a turn of phrase. He has a giant beard. It was literally blowing his beard. Although blowing my beard does sound like it means something.
Yeah. Actually, thinking back what I just said. Yeah, it's pretty. Whatever. Do what you want with that.
So what was it like in the stadium? What was the stadium like? How many fans were there? It looked pretty empty from where the cameras are, but you guys were sort of hidden behind the cameras.
So basically, they had everybody like all the LAFC, the 32-52, like were in one section. Actually, they took over probably like 3 to 4 sections or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't full. It's weird. It was a baseball stadium. I mean, as Vince like said before, like I just pictured Bryce Harper hitting dingers as a kid there. When they actually one ball went over like a home run. Well, I was like, oh, we got a home run. Cool. We did see one. It was cool though. A lot more attendance than there was last year. When they played in Monterey. So I mean, that was pretty cool.
The cameras didn't seem to show anyone in the stands. Were the cameras just pointed in a direction where there weren't people?
I mean, there were people in the stands. As far as like where the Vegas supporters were, there wasn't nobody there. Nobody there, and there was nobody like kind of like around them. Everybody was on the other side. But there was more people than I thought would come out there. So it's a Wednesday in Vegas. So what are you gonna do?
For sure. Well, are you happy you made the commute?
Yeah, I can't wait to wake up in a couple hours and drive home. Get to work.
Don't forget to get some alien fresh jerky on the way. Jimmy, thank you so much for calling. It's always great to see you.
I can't go there anymore. My wife says they're like Trumpy.
You're banned?
So, no, my wife said they're Trumpy. So
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man, what are you gonna do?
Well, the Mad Greek's always there for you.
No,
Jimmy,
you go to Barstow Del Taco, man. You don't stop at Baker. You just drive right by there.
All right, I'm sorry. You hate Modelo. You hate alien fresh jerky. Jimmy, you're bringing me down. Great.
What, you don't like Del Taco? What's wrong with you?
I do love Del Taco, but I also love Modelo, and I have to stand up for my shitty beer choices that I love. Jimmy,
there's a lot of Modelo love in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it, guys. Have fun.
Wow.
Great to see you, Jimmy.
Thanks for joining us.
Later, guys.
The chat completely turning on Jimmy.
Wow,
I've never seen.
Wow.
We see men shirtless in the chat, and people care less. People
you guys
care
would not
less
believe the shit that we have seen in this chat, and that
the thing that's made everyone the most angry is hating Modelo.
Okay, we've got another caller.
Yeah, that call really blew my beard. As Spencer pointed out.
If you're just listening, Travis does not have the kind of beard that can be blown. He means something else, and it's unclear what.
I do like that the chat was calling him Modelo Gandalf. Jimmy, if you ever call back in, your new nickname is Modelo Gandalf.
He's gonna love that.
LAX Andy, speaking of nicknames, coming in from Terminal 5. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Actually, recovering from the novel coronavirus.
Oh,
wow!
Wait, that's still a thing? We're still doing that
again.
I'm the only person in America that has it from being at LAX this last weekend. Unfortunately,
is that really where it's from?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I mean,
wait, what number? What number time is this for you?
Second.
Okay.
So I'm boosting everything. No, I can't complain. I'm all right. Yeah. Thanks for the concern. I got to back up Modelo Gandalf's claim though. That Del Taco in Barstow is the world's first Del Taco. They got a plaque and everything. You get that's always the go-to stop.
All right. Modelo Gandalf winning them back. LAX Andy, any happy feet or sad feet from the game?
I mean, what I thought was the sad foot. It just being on the chat with everybody tonight, I just felt like it was one of the most uneventful LAFC games I'd ever seen. Like that first half, really nothing happened. I'm just like, what am I even doing here? And I think it was a big part of it was a stream. Everybody complained about the quality of the stream. And I'm just sitting here laughing my ass off. Like, how perfect is this? Like, this is just so fucking stupid. MLS is like, every team fucking makes the playoffs. I know these people, and I know a bunch of the folks in the comments are going to complain that, we're never going to be La Liga. We're never going to be this world-class league. If we, promotion, relegation, all this bullshit. And yeah, here we are on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock trying to figure out the YouTube link that you can't get on your TV. You can only get it on your computer. This is so fucking stupid. And I love it. That's got to be the MLS's motto. We're stupid and we love it.
Yeah. Watch our shit league. It's fun, we promise.
It is funny to think back at like how passionately we all defended US Open Cup when it was in jeopardy, and everyone was like the nostalgic waxing poetic of what this is. It's funny just to think about on the side as you watch a stream like this.
Yeah,
seems like a lot of people love this for how much energy no one's putting into it.
There's definitely a couple things probably that we can all think of if we took the time that in life are similar, where like you love the idea of it, but then in practice it's just not good, and you'll like stand up for it like we did when it wasn't happening, but once it shows up you're like, I don't want to do this. It's like, I don't know, like Christmas with your family, where you're like, yeah, it seems like a good idea to go back home and hang out with my family. And then the second you get there, you're like, this was the fucking dumbest idea ever. And I knew this was a bad idea, but on principle, I'd love to be here.
It is the story of the US Open Cup rules, the idea of the US Open Cup rules. Watching and participating in the US Open Cup is not fun. It is not a good product. And like if they put money in it, it could possibly be a good product. But it is not at the moment. And it is, I mean, I will say we have to remember we grew the game tonight, and that is a big, huge takeaway, is that the game has grown.
I'm just also like assuming that for your average viewer, this is the case. Like I have to say, I'm having a great time. I'm genuinely loving this.
But so who is the average?
Other people are too. I don't know.
Who is the average viewer for this game? Like
Andrew Wiebe. That's it. It's like
the Andrew Wiebe US Open Cup.
Anything else, LAX Andy, before we let you go?
Just real quick, I know, like I was saying, like the most popular player on any NFL team is the backup quarterback. So I already know there's going to be so much talk about, Romero and Dolo and just all this chirping. So I'm just really excited for all that discourse. It's all fucking stupid, like I said. Anyway, we'll see you guys Saturday. Thank you.
Yep, great to see you, LAX Andy. I hope you feel better from the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, 19 again, the year 2019, the year it came out, and we still are fucking dealing with it.
The year it dropped.
The year it dropped.
I legitimately the other day thought to myself, just as I do alone, I was like, I wonder like how many coronavirus cases there still are a day. And then I was like, I can't, I mean, probably not that bad, right?
Data anymore.
There we go.
Yeah. Don't talk to Twitter. They'll
I'm
tell you all
about to get political. Guys,
this is cool. Carlos says, I saw a happy sad foot scarf in the wild at the Vegas game.
That's so
thank
cool.
you for bringing it with you. If it was Jimmy, thank you. We love you as well. And amazing. Yeah, I mean, look, what can we say that hasn't been said about the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup and that beautiful, we watched truly the beautiful game tonight. Wouldn't we all agree?
In 480p.
I will say,
and
it's not, I don't think any of you have done this, and I don't recommend doing this, but if you watch the early rounds of the FA Cup, which is an immensely better product because at least they broadcast it better and people do show up in the stadiums, the play on the field is about the same. Like these first rounds are rough, and really is all about like, just get through it. Don't get anyone injured. And, give yourself an extra shot at a trophy. But yeah, these first couple rounds are going to suck.
And I just want to say, we're going to have to play a game in 2 weeks against Loudoun United at BMO. Show the fuck up. I know that it's expensive. Buy tickets on the secondary market if you don't want to get your season tickets charged for or whatever, because we have heard for fucking weeks and a year now how important the U.S. Open Cup is. And then we play the Galaxy in the U.S. Open Cup last year, and the stadium's a third full. So I want to see everyone there at the Loudoun United game. And now that I said it, I don't want to go. So
yeah, you're going to be there on Wednesday?
Come on. Travis, go to the game.
I'll go to the game. Okay, I'll go to the fucking game. So
grow the game, Travis. This is your responsibility.
Nothing can do more to grow the game than a Wednesday night game for no one. More people are watching this stream than watched the U.S. Open Cup stream for sure.
Well, you can see our faces, which is helpful.
It was also more accessible.
The cameras are higher quality.
All right. Anything else anyone else wants to say? Vince, what do you want to leave us with?
Is there anything that we can actually sincerely take away from what we saw on the pitch?
Yeah, they won a road game. Like I don't think we can understate that. Like I don't think we should understate it, because think about it. If we would have lost, how pissed off everyone would have been. So I'm not saying like get as high up as you would have been low, but it's got to be worth something. If it mattered that much to you, if they would have lost, it's got to matter to you that they won.
I don't know that it would have.
Maybe not you, Darren, but to the
I just like watching soccer. I don't know. I'm here for the fun.
and again, it honestly is just about advancing. So you get to advance, you get to play another USL team. Hopefully you can take care of them at home, and that would put you into the quarterfinals.
I'll take some hardware.
Yeah, I mean, look, let's win a trophy this year. We didn't win fucking shit last year. I don't know if you guys remember.
As soon as we win the U.S. Open Cup, it was an incredibly important competition where the level of competition was unmatched. It was incredibly prestigious victory.
Great stories, the myth of the Open Cup.
It is true that I bet the teams that are most vocally keeping the Open Cup around are the ones that have won, so that they can hold on to how important that hardware is. UB says, are we ready for Vancouver? We have a Vancouver preview coming tomorrow. We're going to drop the audio from this post-game show in the morning. The preview show for Vancouver will be dropping tomorrow afternoon. So we're getting 2 podcasts tomorrow. So get your fucking ears ready.
That is the first ever Happy Foot, Sad Foot doubleheader.
And by the way, the defending champs of the Open Cup are out of the Open Cup. Houston lost yesterday.
That's true. Yesterday they lost on PKs.
Right?
Yep.
10 rounds of penalty kicks.
That goal was crazy. That was a banger.
Yeah. Darren, anything you want to leave us on?
More chaos, always. I love it.
Yeah.
I love the Vancouver preview episode is a lot of fun. If you listen to this show with your kids, maybe you don't do that one.
They have to learn eventually. They'll learn eventually. If
you'll find out.
And your
parents maybe don't do that one. It's up to you.
It also is the one with like the most soccer. Like we actually did talk a lot of soccer.
We went hard in both directions on it. It's
weigh your options there.
Certain things definitely were hard during that episode. Thank you for listening to. That's a little sneak preview for the storyline segment.
That's called a Chekhov's gun.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, exactly. We're there, leaving it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us on a Wednesday night. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, listen wherever you listen, watch wherever you watch. Tell your friends about this show. This is so fun to do. We got merch at happyfootsadfootpod.com. You become a Patreon at patreon.com/happyfootsadfoot. Thanks so much for calling. Thanks so much for going out to Vegas. We love all of you. See you at BMO, baby. I love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.